everybody, I am Joey.
And I'm Justin.
And this is a kid
and a car salesman. Welcome to the Galpin Aston Martin Vault. This is where we put together all of our exclusive orders and builds for our clients, as well as host them when they're here for service on their vehicle. So, based on the DB11 platform and chassis, but it's a completely unique Aston Martin. And there are actually no visible components shared between the DB11 and the DBS.
The DBS is also much more aggressive looking. The DB11 was, a little more soft, but this is like aggressive and it's all in your face. I mean, the headlights, they're menacing to look at. You have the louvers on the hood, louvers on the wheels. Now, one thing that's particular with the DBS is the new name Superleggera. Superleggera is an Italian coach builder, and they've been known for making cars for many years. One of their most famous was the Alfa Romeo Disco Volante they made. But Superleggera means super light, and ironically this car isn't very light, but it is way lighter than the DB11.
So when the vehicle's spec'd out with every piece of carbon and the forged carbon wheel, it actually comes in 200 pounds lighter than the DB11 V12.
Powering the DBS is a 5.2 liter twin turbocharged V12. It's based off the DB11, so you have a lot of new components. Makes 710 horsepower and 664 pound-feet of torque.
And we'll talk a little bit more about the torque and how it's controlled to produce optimum output when we get into the drive. The particular build is nice. You were saying earlier about the colorway. Let's talk about the colorway.
So this color is very interesting. As you know, with Aston Martin, with their Q program, which is their custom program where you can do just about anything, this color is called Rosso Corsa. Now, Rosso Corsa is a color you probably know of that you see on Ferraris, and this is actually the same paint code from the Ferrari. And so this one is custom ordered with a Ferrari paint job. It's very rare to see manufacturers do a paint job from another company. So it's such a rare thing to see. And this car is beautiful with the carbon fiber accents in the red.
Something we didn't touch on the front end, and we'll make sure that we recap, is the new finish. So as opposed to having the 7-stage enamel finish, you now will notice that the lettering, the badging, and the DBS emblem, as well as Superleggera emblem, are raw and unfinished. And I think this is a gorgeous, gorgeous way to leave it. With such a polished car, having some raw elements to contrast really sets it off nicely.
Yeah, and that's the thing about this spec. I mean, the red and the black just contrast so well. Seeing the carbon fiber and this raw finish, it's beautiful. The one thing about the DBS is that differentiates it from the DB11 is when you come to the rear end, because it's just so much more aggressive with this whole new carbon fiber diffuser with multi-layers and this new exhaust system, and the way, there's little patterns carved into the diffuser, and the new taillight that swoops all the way across.
And we do use a quad exhaust standard here on the DBS.
The DBS is also louder than the DB11, and that kind of signifies, its sporty characteristic over the DB11. And the one big thing is this new aerodynamic system.
Let's talk about the Aeroblade. The Aeroblade now is in its second stage offering. In the DB11, they introduced the Aeroblade, and now this is the Aeroblade 2 that they've offered, and it's just gorgeous, completely forged from all fiber. Looks like you're not the only one tongue-tied this morning. Completely forged from all carbon fiber. Just a gorgeous accent, but it's also functional.
Now, the DBS is obviously a GT car, and you can tell that by how luxurious the interior is. But one cool thing is how thick the window is for all that sound insulation.
So it's a double pane, but something nice I just noticed is there's this nice little divot in there. And I think they did that to help seal the car just right, nice and tight, so you can still have a quiet and luxurious cabin to kind of offset some of the throaty exhaust notes.
Exactly.
Just a quick overview of the telematics. A lot of people know now about the current partnership between Mercedes-Benz and Aston Martin. And so Aston's making use of the Mercedes telematics, and you see that shared setup here.
Yeah, so the knob in the middle, it's from a Mercedes, and the whole display is from a Mercedes. But that's a good thing, because the previous system Aston Martin used was terrible. And
Whoa, hold on. I wouldn't say it was terrible, okay? At a time, it was a proper system for the time. As technology progressed, Aston Martin being more of a boutique brand, doesn't make sense for them to develop the telematics system. I believe Mercedes spent something like 30 million British pounds sterling to develop this telematics system. And so it's very smart for Aston to license that system, because building about 5,000 cars a year, it's just no way to amortize that developmental cost over per vehicle. It just didn't make sense. And so when they started with their previous telematics system, which I believe was shared actually from the Volvo product line, it was fine for the time, but it didn't refresh fast enough to keep up with what was competitive. So this is a very smart partnership. The other one didn't suck. It only sucked because you're young and you're used to sweet technology. But older people, we had to suffer with regular technology.
Yes, but it was,
It sucked.
It sucked compared to normal navigation systems. And having owned an old Mercedes,
there's a generational gap here, and we're definitely going to play into that a lot over the series. So, yeah, it sucked. Really? You can't even drive. What do you need navigation for?
It did. Well, I don't need navigation, but I'm just saying it wasn't very good.
It definitely was a lot more pixelated. It's like a 8-bit Nintendo versus a Switch.
Exactly.
Is it 8-bit or 16-bit? I think it's 16-bit.
No
but,
idea.
You know, obviously, you don't even know what that is. You do know about Nintendo. You just don't know about the original Nintendo.
Sort of.
Okay.
Anyways,
we're going to get to that maybe. It's another whole series we're going to do.
Mercedes, they do have the best system available right now. And so with Aston Martin partnering with them, great decision. And it's really helped their car so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for our driving review of the DBS. And as always, subscribe to the channel for plenty more videos to come.